Does that trip
Manny Pacquiao, he showed you what he's about. Again, I told everybody, the shit looks different. It looks different on the outside. It looks different on the outside. It's different.
What do you think about that knockdown in the first one? That set the tone.
Did not surprise me at all. Did not surprise me at all.
What about Keith recovering from that body shot?
Yeah.
He had like 2 minutes to survive.
Keith is, again, he got a big heart. He fought his behind off tonight. But Manny Pacquiao prevailed, and he showed you why he is a great, great fighter, and why him and Floyd have been the two best fighters of, this era. And they showed you why. He showed you why tonight. He's 40 years old, man, performing like that.
You kind of called it without. You didn't exactly say it, but
no,
in the lead up, you pretty much said it. You said that.
I called it.
When people were writing off Manny, you were telling it. I remember for lots of times you told me you're like.
Because man, I studied that dude for years on top of years on top of years. He is so awkward with everything that he does, and you got to watch him. You got to watch him. You got to know how to control him. You know what I mean? But again, he showed you his greatness. He's out there fighting like he's 30 years old.
Leonard, do you think Floyd ever on nights like these sits back and says, "Hey guys, look what I did to a great fighter like this"? Not that
No, what Floyd knows. I mean, it's different. It's different because Floyd has a great deal of respect for him. Manny has a great deal of respect. It's a mutual thing, and Manny know what Floyd brings to the table. He been in there with him. Again, that's what I was telling everybody. The shit looks different. It's different. That's the first thing I said when we did the initial. I said it's different. You're not getting ready to end no career and do all of that. This dude is Manny Pacquiao is different, man.
Which one of these youngsters you think can take him down?
No. I'm just saying that every fighter is different. They bring different things to the table.
So you say he's the best at 147?
Manny Pacquiao is a great fighter. He's a great fighter. He showed you why he's a great fighter. He's in there. Keith Thurman was considered what?
He's a unified champion.
Right, exactly. And you saw what Manny Pacquiao did.
You want to see him fight the Spence Porter winner, Manny, or?
With all the belts on the line. See who's that real guy at 147?
Someone closer to his age.
I think they need to do the rematch. I think that would be it.
Does Manny gotta let go of the Floyd rematch? Does he have any? Because Leonard, that's what he really wants.
Floyd
is retired.
Did he tell you, Manny, did Floyd comment at all? Did Floyd call say?
Sit at ringside.
Did he say anything?
He say anything to you?
No,
of course he did.
What did he say, Leonard?
Of course, we were not surprised with none of this.
Yeah.
Again, when you've studied this dude like we know him, it's like Manny Pacquiao does what he does. That's why he's a great fighter.
Yeah.
So were you surprised at all by the decision?
I knew it was close, but I thought it was unanimous.
Right.
I knew it was close fight.
How much you think that knockdown in the first round set the tone for the fight?
Shit, it definitely did. He came out guns blazing, but I told everybody that I thought it was going to be like Hagler Hearns. You know what I'm saying? I thought because I know, Keith talked the talk. And I knew he ain't no chump. He was going to fight back and the whole thing. He showed you he got a big heart, and he landed some great shots too. Especially down the stretch. He hit him with, I think in the 11th round, he turned the right hand over.
It seemed like the difference of Manny was really sitting on his shots, where Keith was kind of moving as he didn't have the same.
You know what that's about? It's called experience.
Yeah, that was the.
That's what it's called, experience.
Speaking of
when you've been in there with any and every kind of style there is, you know how to handle yourself in there. Ring generalship. I mean, Manny Pacquiao, again, that's why he's a legend.
Leonard, you mentioned you're not surprised what happened, but it seems like these fighters, no matter how much they study Manny, they're surprised when they see the speed and power, right?
Yeah, because he's awkward, man. He's awkward. He has a combination of everything. His footwork, fast hands, and you don't know the angles. It's different.
He showed a hell of a chin too tonight.
Yeah,
still at 40.
But he's been had that.
Right.
He's been had that.
Do you think he's gonna see Errol Spence? Because I was at AT&T Stadium in March. I could have sworn he said, "Let's get it on," and it's kind of went up underneath the rug, and nobody's talking about that.
Manny ain't backing down from nothing. That Manny Pacquiao is Manny Pacquiao. He's not backing down from anything. Errol has a big fight in front of him. That's what I'm saying. You can't count. You can't move the card ahead. You know, guys got to fight fights, and you see how it all shake out. I would love to see this rematch, though. It was a great fight. It's a great fight.
What could Keith do differently to win a rematch, though?
It's
Fight the
tough,
second
man.
half.
It's tough. It's hard to beat Manny Pacquiao. It's hard to beat him.
Do you think the moment was too big for Keith?
No. It wasn't about
Those
that.
first 2 rounds, it came out a little shaky.
It wasn't about that. He's fighting Manny Pacquiao. It's not about shaky. He's in a fight.
That surprised you that he did the opposite, because you know he's been fading in his fights. He basically did the opposite. He started off slow and came out strong.
He's a very good fighter. He's a very good fighter. I mean, I told everybody don't pay attention to the Lopez fight. That wasn't indicative of what kind of fighter Keith Thurman is.
So you thought you were gonna see what you saw tonight then?
Huh?
You thought you were gonna see what you saw tonight from Keith?
I knew what I was going to see. I knew what I was going to see. Again, we've studied this guy for years on top of years on top of years.
I'm talking about Keith.
Oh, no. I'm talking about Manny Pacquiao. So you know what he brings to the table. It looks different. It looks different until you get up in there. When you're on the outside, it looks like, oh, he just, the little bunny rabbit, he's just doing it. It looks different. I'm telling you. Manny's very strong, too.
So speaking of Keith Thurman, do you think it can bode well for him that even in maybe the 8th or 9th round, he caught a body shot and, almost broke him in half.
He's a good body puncher.
And do you think Keith Thurman can take some positives away from that now that he's felt the power or anything, and he made it to the end of the fight? And
I mean, again, this is his first loss. It's a tough loss, but he lost against a legend.
Right.
Again, the fact that everyone was split down the middle in a 50-50 fight with a 40-year-old guy fighting a 30-year-old guy, that tell you everything you need to know.
Who do you feel is the best?
It was the reason why he was favored. It's the reason why he was favored. And now we see why. None of that surprised me tonight. Huh?
How about a rematch between two 40 above fighters between Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao?
Man, Floyd is good, man. Floyd is good.
Leonard, you seem very proud of Manny Pacquiao.
Very, very, very proud of him. I mean, I'm a big fan myself. I think he's a great human being. He's a great fighter. He's someone that I have a great deal of respect for. I love everything about what he does for his country. What he's doing for the sport of boxing. Again, he's going out there competing with these young guys who are in their prime, and he's showing you that just because you're a little older, you know what I'm saying, you can do the thing. He's giving people hope and reason to go out there and get up and fulfill their dreams.
He's showing you that Floyd may look easy, but it's not easy.
That's Floyd Mayweather. I'm telling you, Floyd's on a whole nother level. I ain't got to sit there and toot the horn about Floyd. It was the reason why Floyd was undefeated. Reason why. You know what I mean? He come through all these fights, and he make that look easy. It's just a credit to what kind of fighter he's always been. And again, now Floyd will start to get the credit that he rightfully deserves as time goes on.
Even more so now with Manny.
Yeah, because you see it with the way he made
Canelo
Canelo look, and Canelo's another great fighter. Manny Pacquiao, you could go down the list. Floyd's a different animal.
Is it a bit of a trip after all them years being on the other side that here you are holding court after a great Pacquiao fight?
It's surreal. It's like different. It's like.
Looks like you're enjoying it though.
Yeah, I am, because I have a great deal of respect for him. How can you not root for a guy who's 40 years old? You know what I'm saying, and fighting like this.
But he's doing it like Bernard Hopkins. He wasn't that crazy athlete. Guys like Roy Jones, Ali, they usually can't do it at 40, and Manny's more like them. He's got that crazy athleticism. Isn't this the first time we've seen someone that does it like Pacquiao does it at this age? Off explosive,
you kind of say that. I thought that they did some, very, very smart things. Obviously, Freddie's a great trainer. What they did is that they realized that he's a little older now, and they had to trust his body, Yeah, and they took time off, they rested. We did the same thing when Floyd was an older fighter. You can't push yourself like that. You can't box 15 rounds and do 15 rounds of this and 15 rounds of this and then run later. You can't do that when you're an older fighter. You got to work smarter instead of harder, and that's what he's been doing. And you see, he's fresh. He's fresh. He looks like a youngster out there.
So with him being that fresh, is he giving you any indication yet of how many more fights he wants to continue on after this, as far as Mayweather?
No, I mean that's you know, he's a very smart guy, and he's a boss. You know, he calling all the shots. He calling all the shots. He can fight whoever he want to fight. He's the boss. Everybody got to come see him.
Appreciate you, Leonard.
He's that cash cow. He's the boss.
Appreciate you, Leonard. Thank you. Good stuff. Thank you.